Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of yet another documentary film. And this time it's the American 2014 film The Yes Men Are Revolting, which was shown at the Kino Babylon. This film was directed by Laura Nix, Jacques Salvin, and Igor Vamos, the last two having the aliases of Andy Bichelbaum and Mike Bonanno. It was produced by Laura Nix, Jacques Savon, and Igor Vamos, and it also starred both of them as well, with music by Didier Laplay, Joe Wong, and the cinematographers were Kelly Toisi, Raul Barcelona, Martin Boudreau, Christopher Clements, Brandon Jourdan, Laura Nix, and Sam Sprickley. And this was edited by Gérald Brisson, Claire L. Chandler, and Sören B. Ebbe. Now, I had no idea that this was not only a real-life group, but they've also produced previous films before this, the 2003 Yes Men, and even a sequel that came out back in 2009. So I had absolutely no idea about this film or even the films before that. I did not even hear about them before. But it's safe to say that when I went in and saw their latest installment, I have to kind of wonder, where was I when the previous films came out? But since I'm reviewing this film, I basically have to talk about this entity as a standalone film, since I didn't even see the first two Yes Men films. So let's find out what really holds up in the story, the cinematography, and the acting, or even the people involved in this film. So the story in this film basically revolves around the Yes Men, Mike Bonanno and Andy Bichelbaum, trying to get their point across that they are trying to make the government wake up in terms of the problems revolving around global warming by using a lot of methods, like trying to scam their ways, but not really scam, but trying to get their points across by uncanny means, and even purposes that might seem to cause some controversy within the media, since they're basically very well known for being culture jammers who are trying to use, very interesting methods, and even methods that might involve them playing with fire, figuratively, and trying to get their message across. Oh, sure, they do whatever they can, poses different people, and even try to not necessarily scam their way through, but also try to get their points across by using a lot of unorthodox methods. And you could really see that even though they do their very best and they seem to enjoy it for the greater good, you can also tell that they also have some inner struggles, what with Mike being a family man and with Andy being a gay person. So you could really see that what really holds this film is definitely the chemistry that these two have. They really bounce off of each other. And not to mention the chemistry and collaboration that they have with other protesters and other activists is just so exciting that you really want to see their point being moved across. Of course, this film doesn't really give you or even spoon feed you who's the good guy or who's the bad guy. It's up to you how you want to think about the situations in this film. It's up to probably any of us, because this film, it doesn't really paint anybody as entirely good or entirely bad. It just basically is a very thought-provoking film in its own special, crazy way, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. It manages to really spice up the film with some humor, satire, and that's what really makes the story hold together so much for me. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It manages to pepper itself well with humor, satire, and just a sense of weird fun that even though there were some heavy moments found in this film, I definitely enjoyed the ride for a good 91 minutes. And then we get to the cinematography, which I felt was very fluid and very well done. Now, between some of the live action segments, you also have some animated segments. Well, I don't know if the animated segments were also that done in the first two films, but the way I saw the animation for the some of the segments is that I thought that they were very well animated. Almost made me think that, you know what, maybe they could even start a Yes Men cartoon series. Now that would be a great idea. Probably to also be pretty much an eye-opener, probably for, well, people over the age of 18 or over the age of 14. Yeah, the animated segments definitely were pretty much the highlights for me because not only were they very vivid in their visuals, in their own special way, and even though they do remind me of a 90s to early 2000s TV show, and which evoke a lot of nostalgia, I definitely have to say that they also are informative of the message that they are trying to give out when it comes to global warming and when it comes to the causes and effects and what we would have to do in order to prevent this from happening. And I thought they were managed to get their message across, not only through the cinematography, but also through the animated segments. And the music I thought was just really well composed and really well done all throughout, using different types of music, usually like specializing in jazz and a lot of the modern music, especially for the more upbeat, exciting moments. And with some of the quieter moments, they would at times use a little bit of guitar and a little bit of smooth rock. And I'd have to say that the music really does merge well with this film. And not to mention the people present in this film, whether it be Andy Bichelbaum, aka Jacques Savant, or Mike Bonanno, aka Igor Vamos, or even Bernadette Shandia Kodili, Gets Crazy Boy, Tito Ibarra, Mike Mathieu, and Leonid Vlasov. You could really tell that not only were they having a lot of fun and even a lot of times that they really had to endure, you could really tell that the bond between all of these people is very strong, and you could really tell that they collaborate each other very well. Of course, you also see Mike's problems as a father as well, and his duties to try to make sure that he also helps out his team as well in trying to spread the message that, you know, it's about time that people need to take action if they want to help save the Arctic and even Antarctica as well, and even preserve the earth in order to prevent it from global warming. Of course, you can even see the trials and tribulations that these men and women are going through. And whenever they succeed, they manage to succeed so well that I feel totally touched when they reach their goals. So overall, I definitely have to say that this was definitely a fun documentary to watch. It didn't take itself too seriously, nor did it take the matters way too lightly. It's very much a well-done film, and I have to give this film a well-deserved 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is definitely a well done documentary film that does not take itself too seriously. And the chemistry between Jacques Sauvant, aka Andy Bischelbaum, and Igor Vamos, aka Mike Bonanno, was just really well done. And the situations these two have to get themselves into, I thought was just also well done in terms of trying to get their message across. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another movie review. So until then, see you later, everybody.